Hello, and welcome to the final of our GALA concerts for the 2020 Virtual Composers Conference. I am Kurt Rohde, and I am the Artistic Director of the conference. This has been a remarkable 2 weeks. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Jessica Tong, our Director of the Chamber Music Workshop, the conference ensemble directed by James Baker, CPI Director Peggy Kampmeier, and our guest composers, Linda Catlin-Smith and Amadeus Regucera, all of whom worked tirelessly and so generously. And I would like to thank all the participants who were here at the conference this year. Behind the scenes, Executive Director Catherine Welter, our Board of Directors, and our audio and video technicians have been indispensable, making sure that what happens actually does happen. All of these fine people make the conference possible. And we are especially grateful to our donors and foundation sponsors. If you have a moment and want to help support the conference, please go to the composersconference.org website and click on the support page. We'd be most grateful for any level of giving. So until next summer, I wish everyone the best. I look forward to seeing you all at Brandeis University when we are together again in person, making music as a community. And now sit back and enjoy the final 5 world premieres of new works created by our Fromm Foundation Fellows and CPI Instrumentalists. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Sakari Vanderveer, and I'm a composer from Southern California.
Hi, I'm Maxine Troglauer. I'm a bass trombonist and I come from Germany but usually live in New York City.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've been doing over the past 4 weeks is, meeting on Zoom like this to collaborate and get to know each other's musical tastes and kind of bounce ideas off each other. And so, Maxine, I just wanted to ask you like a few questions now that you've been like playing the piece. For you, what's special about having a piece for bass trombone?
I think the bass trombone is a super underrated instrument and there's not a lot of repertoire actually written for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really special to get a piece especially written for bass trombone and for me in particular because it's a huge uh, it really adds to the non-existing repertoire, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
it's really unique.
yeah. As a violist too, I mean, we have more stuff, but it's nice to have something that wasn't like just a violin piece that's transposed or cello or whatever.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And I'll ask, like, what's special about this piece in general for you?
I think it's super cool that you work with fixed media and that you also put pre-recorded trombone sounds into the fixed
Mm.
media part because it actually nearly works as a partner that I play with. It's not
Mm-hmm.
typical solo piece where it's just you on stage or on Zoom in this case,
Yeah.
and you just play you by yourself, you have a reference and you have a background that you can rely on, and that makes it much nicer actually to play.
I'm glad. Yeah.
So I have two questions for you too. The first one is, what were your initial thoughts when you first saw that you have to write a piece for bass trombone?
Yeah, when I was told that I'd be writing for bass trombone, I was actually kind of excited because I've been doing a lot of writing for strings and winds and some piano over the last couple of years or so. I've written for brass, but my most recent piece that has brass in it is an orchestra piece that, you know, it doesn't exactly function the same. And so, yeah, I really was looking forward to, you know, exploring the bass trombone, especially, and like getting to know more of the timbres and extended techniques and all those different materials that I could use in the piece.
Nice. And why did you choose to work with fixed media actually? Because it's quite a lot of work actually to create those shapes and those sounds.
True. Yeah. I've like dabbled in electronics a little bit, but I've been wanting to like actually write a piece of fixed media for a while. And I had even collected some samples that I was drawn to. One of them, for example, in the piece is just like a steel water bottle with water and ice in it, you know, like shaking around. And so one of the things I like about electronics is the ability to like really like manipulate and distort sound, so like it doesn't even sound like the original sample, or maybe it just kind of sounds like there's like a shade of it still there, but it's really this other thing. And I like to do a lot of exploring in my music and like letting that drive the compositional process, and kind of just like going with the things that I discover through that. And so yeah, it was a fun challenge to kind of put those timbres together along with the trombone, and also like manipulating the trombone samples to see what would come out of those too.
Cool. Yeah, I'm super happy about this piece and about the collaboration, and I'm looking forward to show now the end product, if you could call it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely looking forward as well.
Hello, hi, I'm Humay Gasimzadeh. I'm a pianist from Azerbaijan. I'm doing my doctorate degree in contemporary performance program at Bowling Green State University. I'm very grateful to be part of this fantastic festival and collaborate with Wenxin Li.
Thank you, Humay. Hi, I'm Wenxin Li. I'm a composer from China, and I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Iowa. In this collaboration with Humay, we explored many techniques and sound effects inside the piano, and I wrote this piece called Unfold. This piece starts with the fishing line sound, which is fascinating. It has many layers, different pitches, and rhythm just inside this one sound. And gradually it is unfolded to some other sounds and other techniques within lots of different layers. And at last, it goes back to the fishing line sound.
And we're using a bunch of stuff inside the piano. The first thing I would like to share with you is this beautiful bottle. There is also this glass. And there are some coins inside the piano on the strings. There is this instrument called e-bow. And as Wenxin Li mentioned already, we're using fishing line to bow the strings. This piece, I will say that is full of contrasts, at times very quiet and still and meditative, at times very wild, I would say. And you will see me moving around doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm pretty much very busy during this performance.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to present this work for you all.
Thank you so much, Humay. And thank you, Composers Conference, for having us. We learned a lot collaborating together and through the whole conference. We look forward to presenting this piece for you. Please enjoy Unfold. Cheers.
Balbulus is the consequence of my collaboration between bassist Chad Besselkamper in the framework of our participation as fellows at the Composers Conference 2020. The piece, for amplified contrabass solo and pre-recorded and processed contrabasses, works on textural and acoustic expansions of different materials that the soloists perform together with their pre-recorded and processed shadows. The title makes reference to Notker Balbulus, one of the most important liturgical poets and composers of the 9th century. The nickname Balbulus means stutterer and makes reference to some special and irregular melodical tensions that the composer worked with. Melodical tensions that I tried to evoke, but in my personal way. At first, I searched and defined some materials, worked with multi-track sessions at home and several instruments. I composed all the shadows for the pre-recorded contrabasses. Chad recorded all the shadows and materials at his home, and later I processed and edited all at my own home too, including post-effects and some electronics.
Hi, my name is Erin Busch. I'm a cellist and composer in Philadelphia. And this is Kevin. Kevin, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kevin Newton. I'm a horn player based in New York.
And we were assigned to work together for the Composers Conference. And for me, I haven't worked with horn much at all, even in chamber settings. So I was really actually very excited to be assigned the horn. And I ended up writing what actually looks like more like a horn quartet, but with a prominent solo part. And so Kevin ended up recording 4 parts for this piece, for which I am eternally grateful. And it was really fun to explore a lot of different techniques. The sound roll of the horn is just enormous, and you'll hear a lot of that in the piece. And the actual story behind the piece is not something that I really knew until like the last day I was writing it. I had struggled with a title and I had struggled with the opening for the entire time I was writing it, just not really sure the direction it should go. And on the last day, the title came to me. The title is Untethered. And in the same moment, I realized, oh, this piece is about Malcolm. And Malcolm was the son of a good friend of mine who was only 2 years old and passed away very suddenly this year in May. And it was obviously during the pandemic, and it was a really difficult time for any family, but especially that they couldn't gather with their friends. I couldn't play the memorial service, and it was really just a challenge for everyone, especially obviously their family, to know how to really cope with the loss in this time when we have to be distant. And the reason that I realized that is the word untethered is from a poem that Kim, Malcolm's mother, had written for me for another piece like 2 years ago. And I just, in that moment, realized that this piece was my way of just exercising a lot of the grief that I was feeling for Malcolm's family. And so the opening is a real journey of spirit, and I hope that comes across. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin, if you want to chime in on how that felt on your end.
Yeah, so when we set out, we kind of talked about, the things that we wanted to accomplish. And, we wanted to incorporate, extended techniques, horn chords and pitch bends and that kind of thing, and lots of different interesting textures. And so that's how it started. But it's so interesting that as time went on and as you figured that out and I learned more about what the piece was about, those techniques became emotional tools. And I started to think about the piece in that way. And so it has become a very healing experience, actually, for me as well, in preparing the piece.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to work with you. And thank you so much for all of the care and attention that you have shown.
No, same to you. And thank you for being so accommodating.
Of course. Yeah, same to you. So without further ado, I hope that you all enjoy.
Imagine there are sounds in the horizon. They're so far, yet so close. Familiar, unfamiliar. A hair on the skin of the water on the lake travels towards the horizon to deliver an illusion of some fragments of what already is in the horizon. The piece develops itself through repetition, which is not there just to repeat, but to form and reshape, through the embracement of the body, as if there's a nervous system in the body of the instrument, and with each touch, some of its filtered, familiar, unfamiliar, colored sounds would be revealed through deployment of the errors and the physicality of the performance.
There's a physicality. The playing, especially in the bowing, requires a focus not on resonant singing violin sound, but rather on fragile and intimate breaths brushed by the bow. Bowing gestures, inspired by the Iranian instrument kamanche, act as filters to already abstracted fragments of melody. As a performer, time is fragile and disproportionate. Tempo is represented spatially, rather than with beats or metronome markings. The result is a whisper, a touch, delicately stroking the sound of the air.
go.